Good afternoon, one and all. I welcome all the delegates for this scientific session of AICT sponsored short-term training program. Today we have a giant academician and researcher, Professor Sanjeev Sufat sir, Professor Computer Science and Engineering, PEC University of Technology, Chandigarh. On behalf of Institute of Pharmaceutical Education and Research, I heartily welcome you, sir.
Oh, thank you.
Professor Sofat has an overall experience of more than 25 years in teaching, research, and consultancy. During this period, he has held the position of Dean Students Affairs, Dean Academic Affairs, and Deputy Director at PEC. He is coordinating the NBA accreditation work of PEC for a number of years. Based upon his professional experience, he has been invited as the technical consultant for many prestigious projects at both state and national level, including the project on cybercrime and criminal tracking network system. He has been consulted widely and invited to deliver presentations at many academic and other higher level seminars in India, UK, Malaysia, and Singapore. In addition, he has been to Australia, where he worked with other researchers from Singapore and China on cyber security. He is a member of a number of committees of AICTE, UGC, and NBA. He is a member of Margadarshak scheme of AICTE for Mentoring Institute for NBA. He has published 75 research papers in the national and international journal of repute, published 3 books, guided 10 students for PhD, and 4 more students are working for PhD under him. Now I request Dr. Sanjeev Sofat sir to deliver the talk. The title of his talk is SAR and Co-PO mapping. Dr. Sofat sir, please start with the session.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Jyoti Ranjan, for my introduction. Let me say I'm from an institute which is going to complete its 100 year this year only. So that's what we are. So what I'm planning is, yes, I will happy in case there are questions in between, and maybe at the end, if you wanted to ask question, I'll be happy with that. So that is your choice, because I enjoy discussions, because obviously you are from some of the institutes. Maybe some of you are from an engineering institute, some of you from pharmacy institutes, and some of you must be from some other institute there. Now, good or bad, a outcome-based education is one of the criteria based on which you're being evaluated. So once you're being evaluated based on the AICTE criteria, this outcome-based education only. So what you have to understand is what exactly is this outcome-based education. Maybe there may be some other speakers who might have talked to you about this. So that's what. Okay. So maybe COs and POs, they are the important component as far as outcome-based education is concerned. That's why I thought I'll share my experiences because I'm a member of NBA accreditation number of years. For so many years, I'm there in the accreditation processes of NBA. So that is one thing which is there through which all these particular things move over there. So this is a basic background which I got. So my idea of talking to you is what exactly is CO, what is actually PO, and how exactly continuous improvement, quality improvement can be there as far as systems are concerned. Because obviously what we look for is once we go for an accreditation, whether there is some improvement which is happening in this particular institute for the last 3 years. So basically what we look for is whether in teaching you there is some improvement, whether there is evaluation, there is some improvement. Based on that, is there some learning outcome which is improved over there? I hope my screen is visible.
Yes, sir, it's visible.
Okay, thank you. So what maybe this is what somebody I might have covered with you, outcome-based education. What exactly is that? So basically outcome-based education is a process. So what's a process? Maybe there are students who are entering into a system. There's some processes through which they go for, and there is outcome there. Then suddenly you realize that whatever is the outcome which is coming from the system is not being accepted by the industry. So what exactly you do? You try to improve upon your processes, because input, it may not be in my control, because obviously, let's say if I look at what is my input in my system, it's the students. They will be very intelligent students, there will be mid students, or there will be below average students who will be there. So this is what we say, okay, in case a system is there and we have to see what is the, because let's say what is the outcome which we are having as far as our system is concerned. Outcome is our students whom we have trained for engineering or pharmacy or MBS there. And then who is going to accept my outcome? It is industry. Let's say I produce some output and it doesn't accept it. So obviously what we have to do is we have to think about how can we restructure the things? How can we improve upon that? So that's what we see, the restructuring of the curricula. I know most of you might be from a tier 2 institute. Curriculum may not be part of, you may not be the designer of a curricula. But yes, you are the implementer of the curricula. Then that's what, okay, whatever is the feedback, it has to go to the concerned quarter of universities. And based on that, there is some improvement which is happening there. And then we go for some assessment. Okay, let's say you're going to evaluate the students. Let's say you go for a sessional. Now, does it meet some objectives there? Because there may be some objectives there which I would like to fulfill once I go for some assessment there. Then there may be some reporting processes there. Okay, how do I report some practices there? So what we wanted to reflect the achievement of a high order learning and mastery rather than the accumulation of the course credit. Because in the earlier curriculum implementation, what used to be there was, okay, I had to attain these credits. Okay, given an engineering branch, I had to attain 160 credits. Now these days, what we're looking for is, okay, whether for each of the course which he's gone through, has he learned something there? So how would I know whether he's learned or not? Let's say I keep some outcomes. Okay, the moment somebody goes through this particular course, these are the outcomes which are there. Maybe for your pharmacy courses also, there must be some outcome which you must be defining. Or for management courses, we are defining some outcomes. So in case I define this sort of outcome, so we have to see whether those sort of outcome has been achieved there or not. So, and has he mastered that particular outcomes there? So let's say in case I'm setting a question, what is my objective of setting a question? If I just write, explain explain this, write this, or something like this. Is it making me to meet some objectives? No. Let's say in case you have got a course on a drug discovery, but you keep on teaching him what is drug, how is it manufactured, who are the masters and other things there, but I don't teach him drug design. That means what I've done is I'm not able to attain whatever objectives I have kept as far as this particular course is concerned. So this is what we say. Outcome-based basic education is involvement of the restructuring of the curricula, assessment and reporting practices. And what we wanted to do in this particular thing is we would like to achieve some learning. And it is a measurable learning, because this is what NB also looks for. Can I measure how much is the learning your students have got? Let's say if I ask a teacher who goes to the class, if I ask him, कि सब बच्चों को समझ आ गया? They say, yes, सबको समझ आ गया. But how will I test whether everyone has understood or not? Maybe you can go for a quiz, you can go for some other mechanism through which you will test. Now, this particular testing, while once I'm doing this sort of testing, I have to see what exactly I'm testing there. Testing is related to your objectives there, what is based on that only. So there are two critical terms which are there, which we say the course objective or course outcome and the program outcomes there. Okay, your program outcomes are some statement about knowledge, skills, and attitudes. Maybe we call them as attributes also. Okay, let's say in case a student will go for a program. What is a program? Program is your engineering program. Let's say B.Tech Computer Science is a program, or Bachelor of Pharmacy is one program there, or MBA is a program there. The moment I say, okay, he has to go for this particular course, then I have to identify what sort of knowledge will be there, what sort of skills he will attain once he goes through this particular course, and what are the attitudes or attributes he will gain. Okay, once he does this graduation of a formal engineering program. So this is what we say is the program outcomes there. Now, these program outcomes are defined by some accreditation agency. Maybe in our country, it's the National Board of Accreditation, which is there, which defines this particular thing. Okay, let's say they define A2K. I hope you might have heard of this very important term, A2K of the accreditation. Now, this is what accreditation agencies of the country would have defined. Okay, these are some of the things which are part of the accreditation there. And this is what we say for any program to work. This is what we say is our starting point. Okay, let's say, what is my outcome of a program? Now, it's in the layman's language. The moment, maybe you're from, some of you must be from a private engineering college. The moment students want to get admission, first thing they ask is, what is the outcome of this program? अगर मैं B.Tech कंप्यूटर साइंस कर लूंगा 4 साल के बाद, मेरा क्या बनेगा? This is what we say is the outcome. Now, for him, the outcome is whether I'll get a job or not. But for the educator, this means what sort of knowledge, skills, and attitude or attributes I should give him so that all this can lead him to get a job. I hope you can differentiate between the layman's terms and the knowledgeable terms there. Okay, as far as the academician, they say, what is the knowledge, what the skill I should impart so that you get a job. And what is the outcome my target is looking for, my stakeholder is looking for is whether I will get a job or not. Maybe what we have to do is this particular thing, whether I'll get a job or not, has to be translated into knowledge, skills, and the attitudes, which has to be there for a formal engineering program or a free pharma program or of the other programs there. So this is what we say the target. in the layman's language, my target is getting a job. And attitudes has been developed in the student so that he is able to get this particular job there. Now, as I said, these POs are defined by the accreditation agency of the country. Maybe there are so many accreditations which one can have there. But as far as India is concerned, we work with the NBA or NAC. These are the only two accreditations which are there. NBA is for the programs and NAC is for the institute there. Because usually while we deliver talks, people do ask us, what is the major difference between NAC accreditation and the NB accreditation. NB accreditation is for a program. Okay, my program is BTech Computer Science or B Pharma or your MBA or MCA. These are some of the programs which has been defined by the AICTE, and those programs has to be accredited by agency there. That is NBA which does this. But let's say I would like to have an accreditation for my whole of the institute. That means whatever processes my whole of the institute is following, irrespective of what program I'm running, then that is a NAC accreditation in that case. So this is what we say, this as the starting point there. Okay, from this point onwards, we start. Okay, this is what we say is the program outcomes there. And course outcomes are some statement of observable student action that serve as the evidence of knowledge, skills, and attitude acquired in a course. Let's say you are running a BTech Computer Science Engineering. That is your program. In that, we are teaching them data structure. Okay, before I take some examples, find out what is your background. Are most of you from B Pharma or it's a mixed group which is there? Yes, you can just message me because I could see 42 participants. In case you can send me the message, what is your background? Because that will help me in giving my examples. Yes, can you just, in your chat window, can you write what's your background? Yeah, B Pharma, pharmacy, M Pharma. I could get some of the backgrounds. Okay, all of you are from pharmacy background. Okay. That's great, because that I should have found out from the beginning only, because whom I'm addressing. Because let's say I'm addressing some of the pharmacy faculty there. Okay, I hope my screen is visible. Fine. Okay, let's say now we are saying, let's say my program is BTech Pharma, B Pharma, B Bachelor Pharmacy there. And there may be some courses there in that particular case there. Let's say my course is drug discovery or making some capsules there. Let's say there is some topic there. Obviously, I'm not from pharmacy, but still we go for so many places where we listen to so many terminology as far as pharmacy is concerned, right? So what we say is, in case I will have to see what is the course outcome there. Now, if I just look at, maybe some of you on the window online, just think of one course, and can you think of what will the outcome of that particular course? In case the student goes through that particular course, what will they achieve out of this? Maybe again, you make use of a window to send me the messages. I hope you understood this. Okay, what I'm looking for is, okay, what I'm looking for is, think of it just in your window or chat window only, you write name of one course and think of what will be the outcome of this course in case the student goes there through that particular course. Maybe I'll read it for some of you. For any course which is there with the B pharmacy. Yes, Sheetal says clinical trials and research. This is one course. Okay. Okay. Now, in case the student goes through this particular course, what will the outcome of that? Can you think of? Okay, in case some of the students goes through clinical trials and research, what will the outcome of this particular course? Yes, maybe we can request Sheetal to share. Yes, Bhakti Shah, pharmacy, is it you're talking about a B pharmacy there? Because pharmacy may not be a course. Because clinical trials and research may be a course, but pharmacy, maybe it's the name of the program there, B Pharma. Yes, somebody else? Maybe again will depend upon Sheetal to give one outcome for this particular course, clinical trials and research. And maybe we know about drug activities and their side effect. No, that is the knowledge part. Okay, if you know about drug activity and their side effect, what is the outcome of that particular course? Okay, Abhiram says physical formatics a course. Yes, that I agree. Is a physical formatics is one course. Now, can you tell me, Deshmukh, what is the outcome which will be there for this course in case student goes for this particular course? Yes, Varsha, you are also right. Pharmacology is another course there. Yes. Okay, Abhiram says, okay, one outcome is the student should understand the basic concept of physical formatics there. That as, okay, understanding the basic concept of physical formatics which are there. So this is one of the objectives which we can say, okay, one you would like to say basics of concept of physical pharma. Right? So this is, okay, let's say, yes, Jyoti Ranjan says, study of a new drug in human beings. That's good. Okay, yes, you would like to say a study of new drug in human beings. Let's say this is one outcome which you would like to have for this particular course, right? Now comes what exactly you would like in case this outcome is to be achieved. What should be the content over there? because that's how we correlate all these things. Yes, somebody says, Varsha says, understand the how drug act which and what is the mechanism behind action, how to use. In case you have got such a big outcome, maybe student will be confused. Yes, somebody says adverse drug reaction. Let's say no. Let's say we concentrate upon adverse drug reaction. Now, in case I have to impart this particular knowledge about this particular objective, adverse drug reaction, what should be the content? Can you maybe again we request to Vishali K. Chauhan, in case she can write, he or she can, Vishali can write in the chat box only, maybe 2 or 3 content which in her opinion, in case somebody goes through this particular content, he will be able to have this particular objective. Yes, Vishali, can we again depend upon you? Okay, let's say my objective is, okay, I would like to study the adverse drug reaction. Now, what should be the content over there through which I can achieve, in case this sort of a knowledge is imparted to you, I'll be able to have this particular content there. Now, can you tell me, Vishali? Because this is how what we say is the hands-on experience-based learning. Yes, Vishali, we are waiting for you, or others may also contribute, because all of you are from the pharmacy background only. In case somebody is to learn this adverse drug reaction, how should we go through this? What should be, if I have to attain this objective, what should be the content which I should teach? That means what is the knowledge which should I impart? Yes, Vishali, you can unmute yourself if you would like to share.
Hello, sir.
Yeah.
Am I audible?
Yeah, you're audible.
Sir, the pharmacovigilance, in which we are going to study about the adverse drug reaction. That is the course outcome of this course. According to me.
This is one outcome which is there. And okay, you send a long list of things. Side effects, secondary effect, toxic effect, intolerance. Now iodized. Now all these are okay. These are some of the side effects which you define for adverse drug reactions.
Yes, sir.
This is what one has to learn. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, okay, this is what we had. Okay, now what we have done is we have defined a course, and then for that particular course, we had defined one course outcome. That was adverse drug reaction. In case that outcome is to be achieved, what is the knowledge which I have to impart? That also you have written. Now, my next question is, how do I test whether the student has got this particular knowledge or not? Because if I tell the teacher, okay, you go to the class, teach all these things, maybe within 6 days, within 5 days, he or she will be able to teach all these things, right? But how do I see whether my student has acquired this or not? How will I do it? Yes, you can unmute yourself and tell me.
Hello. Sir, by taking a quiz, by test, okay.
Yes.
performing all this activity, we can judge the knowledge of student.
No, let's say I would like to see whether he would have understood this toxic effects or not, right? So what will I do? I will think of one question there through which I can find out, in case he can answer this particular question, that may, or one question I'm saying very small, maybe if in case I give him the 10 question out of this particular part, then I can find out whether he is understood or not. If it's a practical aspect, maybe I'll give this particular toxic thing to someone and then I see his effect. That means to achieve this particular objective, what I done is I had defined a content, and from the content I define how will I test. Now, if I ask you, okay, how do you test the student? Because the testing is very important. Because that's what we say CO's attainment is. Okay, in case I had defined one objectives there, a course outcome I had defined, I have to test whether my student has got that or not. Then I have to see what is the question which has to be there through which I can test whether he has understood it or not. Let's say I keep on, maybe you take anything, you say drug allergy. How will I test whether somebody has understood this drug allergy or not? One, you say you will take quiz, you will say assignment, you will take this, you will take, give them something there. So this is what we have to define. This is what we see the testing part. So now you can correlate. We start with the program, right? And from the program to achieve A to K of the program, because program outcomes, we say there are 12 outcomes which are there. For the 12 outcomes, I define, okay, this is the courses which he has to go through. Okay, I define 10, 15 courses. Okay, in case he goes through this particular courses, then whatever the program outcome I define, he should be able to attain it. Now, once I define that, then for each of the course which I had defined, I had to define its objectives. As you were the one designer of these objectives also, course objectives, and you have designed this sort of objectives there. Okay, this is what has to be done in case he has to achieve this sort of a POs there. Now for is we say this is course outcomes there, and we say let there be 2 or 3 outcomes for each of the course. Then I have to see how achievement of this particular outcomes. How can I do it? As somebody says, you will go for a test, you will say get a quiz, you will go for this. Then your question will decide what is the component has been tested. Now, can I test all the components? No. I had to select what is the important component of a topic through which I can find out whether this particular topic he's understood or not. It's just like making rice. How do you check whether rice has been cooked? You don't check every rice. You just take a sample. So out of this also, we just don't see everything has been tested. But what we say is, that is where teacher role comes. He has to see what component he tests so that he is able to see that he has understood everything. Now let's say a teacher gives the question, what is drug allergy? Now, with this particular only question, I can just justify that he has understood the drug allergy. That's where your Bloom's taxonomy comes into the picture. Because in case I just say this, explain drug allergy, am I testing him? No, I'm just testing him for his memorizing. That means he would have gone through 4 or 5 pages of dialogy. He reproduces those pages. Has he understood the thing? No. What I have tested out of this is he's memorizing the things. Now, this is where your testing is an issue. That's what NBA checks. Whether whatever you have done has been tested properly or not. I hope some of you might have heard this Bloom's taxonomy. This is one of the mechanisms through which we test whether somebody has understood this thing or not. I hope this particular example would have clarified you a lot of things. So this is what we say, course outcomes are the statement of observable students' action. So this is what example I was trying to give you through your pharmacy study only. Okay, what sort of observable student actions are there that serve the evidence of a knowledge, skills, and attitude required in a course? Because obviously, once I say for a program, he has to acquire a certain set of knowledge, skills, and attitude. So obviously, I'll be able to see from here whether that particular attitude, skills, and attitude he's able to acquire in a course. And every course we design is there to meet certain course outcomes. So what we do is we define the course outcome in such a way that I can actually measure them. So this is once I was asking you what sort of a course outcome is there for a particular course. You gave me so many outcomes. Now you really try to see whether all the outcome which you define, they meet these particular things or not. So this is what we say is the course outcome. Now I talk to you program outcome, giving the example of program outcome. My program is, what we say is, your program is your Bachelor of Pharmacy. Then there are, as I said, there is some knowledge, skills, and attitude has to acquire to have that particular program. Now to acquire that, there are certain courses which will go through. So what is the knowledge I acquire through, what is the skill I acquire through, what is the attitude I acquire through, will be decided during that particular course only. And POs are attained. Now course outcomes are attained through your measurable things. We say the direct measures and there are indirect measures there. And the programs are attained through the specific courses only. Let's say in case there are 12 outcomes which are to be there. Maybe somebody might have talked to you about 12 outcomes, A to K. Now out of this, some of the courses will meeting one outcome, program outcome, others may be meeting the other outcomes there. At the end of the day, all the program outcome has to be met there. So your program outcomes are knowledge, skill sets that the graduate at the time of graduation will have, and course outcome is a knowledge and skill are attained in a graduate in a course, could be part of the POs only. So this is what we say is the COPO matrix. So each of the COs have to be mapped to some of the POs there. Now, how do we attain all these things? That is through your curricula. So now you can correlate your program outcomes are attained through your courses, and course outcomes are attained through your exams, your quiz, and other thing. We say the direct measures and the indirect measures there. And how do we do all these things? That is through the curriculum there. So what is we mean by curriculum is curriculum, assessment, and evaluation are the major tools by which program outcomes are attained. In case I have to say, okay, these are the program outcomes which are to be attained, that is through your curricula, that is through the assessment, that is through your evaluation there. So what we have to do is, okay, once we think about a curricula, we have to think about curriculum, what sort of assessment mechanisms are there, and what sort of evaluation is to be taken place there. In case my evaluation is not good, my assessment will be poor. And in case for the curriculum also, in case my curriculum is not very well designed, then obviously my outcome will not be there in that sort of a it will affect the program outcomes there. So that's what we say. They need to be designed well. So as I say, it is basically there in your self-assessment report. SAR is a self-assessment report which NBA looks for. So as far as the curricula is concerned, we seek this self-assessment report seeks answer to the following. Process for developing the curricula exists and has been followed or not. Is there certain process for development of the curriculum? Does it exist and has been followed or not? Now, what is the process for development of the curricula? Maybe some of you might be involved in some curriculum development process. Is there anyone who is involved in curriculum development process out of all these groups of 42 people? Maybe you can unmute and just let's discuss that part. Or you can just send me message. Yes, some of you, those who are involved in some curriculum design at any stage, be it a university, be it of your own university, be it your own college there. Yes, either you can speak by unmuting yourself. Yes, would somebody would like to share someone's experience of curriculum design? I would suggest you have to speak out. Come discuss, maybe in Hindi, maybe in English. Of course, I'll not say you discuss in your regional language. Okay, in case nobody comes forward. Okay, let's say what we mean by this process of curriculum design is, first thing is, who are the stakeholders for the curricula? Is teacher a stakeholder for the curricula? No. Is students stakeholder of the curricula? Yes. Is industries shareholder of the curricula? Yes. Then is your alumni stakeholder for the curricula? Yes. So that means these are the stakeholders there. What you have to do, what is the process for development of curricula is, first of all, you identify your stakeholders. Who are the ones? And first of all, who are the ones for whom this curricula is being made? Curriculum is being made for the industry, for the students, and for the alumni. Now, then what we have to do is, once we have to develop a curriculum, we have to plan how exactly we will involve each of the stakeholders there. I can't tell my 6th semester students to design a pharmacology course for me. Obviously, he can't. But yes, I can ask somebody who has gone through this particular curriculum 5 years back to tell me what should be taught in this particular pharmacology course there. So this is what we say the development of curricula. Identify the stakeholders. And then once I identify the stakeholders, then I had to think about how exactly, what should be the content for each of the course and what's the outcome for each of the course. Then based on that, we have to document this particular process there. Then obviously we have to see, is the curriculum well balanced? And level is syllabus is at a degree level. Does it allow NBA program outcome to be attained? This is most critical part. Let's say there are 12 outcome which NBA wants. Each of the courses has to attain some of them. Now, let's say I design 10 courses, but later on realize there is one outcome, program outcome, which has not been attained by any of the course. That means this is not a balanced course, syllabi which is there, or a curriculum which is there. So this is what my SAR, self-assessment report, which you have to make, looks for as far as your curricula is concerned. So this is what we say, the process and the result. You process your results, and if no, there are no, then again you process, then you stop there. Now, usually this is what we have to ask. Will be able to attain POs under this curriculum? Most important component of an NBA accreditation is your course file. What we understand by course file is, in case I teach a course, then there has to be some file which should be defined that this is a course file which is there corresponding this particular file there. And then we define what is the textbooks used, any demo during the lecture, attending lectures. So all these are a part of your delivery mechanism. So that means what we have got is, we have got a program. There is always program outcomes. To attain those program outcomes, we have got our courses. And for each of the course, there is course outcome which are there. And to attain all of them, we make a curricula. And then we talk about the content delivery. Okay, how exactly this particular content are being delivered over there. Now, this is what we say course. This is one of the most important component as far as the NBA accreditation is concerned. Okay, what we have to do is, okay, we have to have a course file where what we have done in a particular course, we have to see, and how attainment has been done in that particular course, we have to see in that. So my course file should cover what all I taught, in which sequence I taught, and how I have evaluated the students, and then what sort of attainment I had for this particular course there. So what we say is, this is the most important component as far as the NBA accreditation is concerned. Okay, it is through this particular course files that we try to find out what exactly is happening as far as the classes are concerned. So what we say, this is a prime responsibility of the faculty. Okay, whosoever faculty is there, who's teaching this particular course, they are the ones who are responsible for this particular activity as far as the system is concerned. So this is what we say is the framework. Program educational objectives, and we have got a program outcomes, we got a curriculum, teaching and learning, and the course outcomes there. So all these are interrelated to each other. So this is the framework which my system, my NBA teams, they try to look for once they come for the accreditation. Now, can you believe it? This particular framework, as such, out of 1000 marks which are there, they carry more than 650 marks. So what we say is, okay, in case you have to have your NBA accreditation, you should be very thorough with your program outcomes, curriculum, teaching, learning, and the course outcomes there. And you have to work out how exactly you have to go for this sort of attainments there. So this is what we say, define POs and starting design along with NBA program outcomes there. Okay, we have to see whether all the POs within the credit limits are required, then sequence required. Yes, if in a few iterations, a solution will emerge. That's what we say a curriculum design is. Now, this is what we say. It is good practice to embed the course outcome in the syllabi only. Whatever syllabus we have got, in that particular syllabus only, we have to embed this sort of a course outcome in the syllabi only. This is the most important component there. Now, how this mapping is there, maybe I'll go to the other screen there through which I'll show you that. I hope this screen is visible. Now, this is one of the institute who has defined how exactly this attainment is there, CO attainment through the direct assessment. Because what I said was, there is a direct assessment which constitute your quiz, your other things there, practical, sessionals and other things there. And then another is your indirect mechanism. Maybe there are surveys and other things which you conduct. So this is what we say. Okay, let's say this is what your institute has to define, or university will be defining. Okay, for the theory subjects, there is a internal assessment W1 and there is an end semester examination W2. This is the weightage is there. Now maybe this is a constantly evolving. Okay, in this particular case, maybe for the new batches, internal assessment they have increased and end semester examination they have increased over there. And this is for the practical 60-40, maybe 60-40 they have kept. Now, what is the first step? You have to define your level of attainment. So what we do is we define 4 levels of the scale. You have to be very clear. This is example of one of the institute. As far as your own institutes are concerned or your own universities are concerned, you have to define this sort of a thing. Okay, let's say they are defined attainment level 0 to 3. Okay, in case for internal assessment, in case 0 to 10% student scoring greater than 10% only, then I say attainment level is 0. Same is true for the end term. I define for the end term. And in case my 60 to 100% students are scoring more than 60%, my attainment level is very high. So that's how you define the attainment level as far as the students are concerned. Okay, based on whatever are the marks they are scoring. Now, this can be with respect to a test, this can be with respect to the total marks, or this can be with respect to the even what NBA expect is, whatever are the questions you have given, for each of the question you define the attainment level that will be related to your course outcomes there. But obviously we can't go up to that detail, but this is what people go for. For the internal assessment theory subject, this is what it is. And for the project and the case study or a practical, let's say in case 0 to 10% students scoring more than 70%, 0 attainment. In case 60 to 70, 100% students scoring more than 70%, we say attainment level is 3%. Same is for the end semester practical examination. So that means for each of the component, let's say in this particular case, we assume 4 components. One is your theory internal, end semester internal or external, and practical internal, and the end semester internal, external. We thought of this sort of a component there. Now then we compute computation of a CO attainment for each of the subject code. For each of the attainment level is found using table 2. Yeah, this particular table, and table 3 for practical sessional. The attainment level of the score is in terms of XI, X1 and semester. The CO attainment for each subject is calculated as CO80 W1 X1 plus W2 X2. Where W1, W2 the weightage as per the table 1, which we had defined earlier. So maybe I'll give you this particular sheet that will give you idea how exactly this sort of a computation is being done. And once we have got a number of courses, for each of the courses we make this particular table and calculate CO attainment for each of the course. And then again we calculate this particular CO attainment for all the other courses there. your practical courses. And this is how we attain this particular thing there. So let's say these are my PO1, PO12 I was talking about. Okay, what sort of attainment is there for each of the course there? So this is what we say is a course or attainment table there, and corresponding to this we define the program outcome. Let's say there are 4 courses there. For each of the course, what is the PO it is attaining? We defined between scale 1 and 3 for this, and my PO attainment is a correlation IJ into course attainment divided by 3. This is some formula which we defined for all the courses which we have got. And this is how we define system analysis design, P attainment through direct assessment test, which will be there. And I will get the average PO attainment for the PO direct. So PO first program objective, what is the attainment I got? I'll get from this particular formulas there. Now then we have got an indirect evaluation. Now for indirect, we go for the exit surveys. Exit surveys is we define some questions. Let's say pass out students, we define some question, and we try to find out excellent, very good, good, average, and poor. And based on that statements, go for the rating and link it with the each of the statement is to be linked with the program outcomes. Once we are able to link it with each of the program outcomes, then we calculate. This is a small way. Based on surveys, I define all these values and get this sort of indirect. Okay, what sort of weightage I define for each of the component there? Maybe 40% of this, 30% of this, 30% of this. Employee, alumni, and the student. We get 3 surveys done, and based on that we calculate these values. And then computation of the overall POs. Then let's say we have got a direct assessment, we have got an indirect assessment. This is what we define. Okay, my overall is 80% of the direct assessment, 20% of the indirect assessment, and for all the courses I define and get the overall values there. So maybe this is a very small calculation which I told you. Maybe what I'll do is I'll share this particular calculation as well as the presentation with you, so that in case you got doubts, you can just refer to them. But I will not say this is the Bible. Every institute can define their own mechanism through which these sort of things can be defined over there, right? Maybe now I'll be taking some questions there. This is what I thought I'll cover up with you. Now let's have some questions. Because this was what was told. Okay, for 1 hour teaching, and for maybe whatever time you need for question, I'll be answering your questions there. Either you can type out your question or you can just message me. Okay, I have opened the chat box also. Yes, any question which are there?
Any question? Session is open for question and answer.
Yeah, answer. You can unmute yourself and then ask the question. Or if you want me to go to some slide and explain something there, you can let me know that also. Otherwise, I'll share all the slides, all this calculation with you.
Sir, I think no question from.
Okay, then in case there is no question, thank you very much. It was maybe we were discussing in between also. Okay, what is the course outcomes, and how exactly we have to attain each of them. So then we stop here. Thank you very much. It was a nice interaction with all of you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. I'll stop sharing.
Okay. So I'm thankful to Dr. Sanjeev Sophat, sir, for accepting our invitation and sharing your valuable thought on the SAR and course objective and program objective mapping. So thanks a lot, sir.
Okay, thank you very much. Maybe I'll share these slides as well as this Word document which we have made for the participants. Fine?
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you.